Welcome back, and now moving on to our second segment for today. So right now we're going to talk about a movement by students, and actually this movement is called Change, and we're going to find out together what do they mean by it and what is their plan. Definitely this is something very important when it comes to the collaboration and the student union and all of this. We need this, especially during this critical period of time in Egypt. We have the pleasure to have with us Muhammad Osama Muhammad, right? He's a student from Faculty of Engineering. And also we have Amira Aidel Abdel Hamid, student from Faculty of Commerce. Hello and welcome. It looks right, we have a collaboration between different universities.
And different faculties,
And
so that's
faculties as
always
well.
interesting. Usually I tend to worry with the title change because this is the phrase we heard from Obama so much, and we got very dramatic change afterwards, but I'm sure your organization is different. Could you tell us more about this organization?
Sure. Change is a student activity that started in the AUC, the American University in Cairo, from 6 years, and this is our 7th year. We started the change by changing our name. As you see, it's not written at the ordinary word change we used to know. It's written in a different language to grab more attention and to believe, to tell people that we believe in the change. We wrote it in the phonetics, and the J, as we believe in the dot on the J, we believe in the dot. The dot is not the end of every word or the end of everything. It may be the start. And comparing ourselves as students in Cairo University to the community we are in, we are just a small dot in the community. That's the main idea of change.
So tell us more about this movement. What are you doing exactly? What is the main aim of this movement?
The main aim that we are connecting the academic study in the university with the real work in marketing through free courses in different aspects, such as banking, CBT as creative business thinking, project management, advertising. Let's talk about banking. Banking, the participants will know about history of banks, types of banks, how banks work, plus soft skills, interview skills regarding the personal development.
Also, one second, we have urgent news. A public bus exploded in Mustafa Nahas Street at Nasr City, where we're still going to get some information with regards to the injuries. Hopefully we will be able to get a correspondent.
Whether there were people on it or not.
Yes,
many
hopefully we'll get
yes.
more information soon.
Okay.
With that, we continue. These things seem so unfortunate, especially because we're talking about something like that, developmental and whatnot. Interesting. With regards, let's move to the current political scene. With regards to these explosions, whatnot, what can your organization be an example of to youth like you? Because unfortunately, in some incidents, with regards to some terrorist attacks, we find that youth are part of these things. And you being that dot, it could be an example for a microcosm for something bigger. So could you tell us about that?
We are trying to change the youth. We are trying to change the negatives in our society and enhance positives by trying to be more useful to the youth. By providing free courses for theirs to be a much more useful future for their.
But actually, regarding the politics, we don't share politics with the delegates or with the students. We change the negative things, as Amira said. We are changing the negative things to be a positive, to be more positive and enthusiasm to make things, not to share politics ideas.
Right, but just you made me, I want to ask you about nowadays we all know that there are many different demonstrations taking place in universities. So how do you see it? Because these demonstrations are not that peaceful. And we saw that some people were killed and a lot of things actually that sometimes you think we are universities to fight. We are going to learn to help our country, because the most important thing, if you want to support your country, to build your country, it is your role now to study, and to study very hard, to graduate, and to stand with us, to be on the side of those who are building the country. How do you read it?
Exactly. This is our main aim, to change the students, not only to be negative students, just go to the university and study and go into exams and then pass the exams and that's it. No, you have to share in your community. Egypt will not be better without the youth. So to be better, the youth must have some skills and some personal skills in development to make the change in the community and in Egypt to be better. That's how we are working with the students, to be better, to change the negative thoughts and negative things. Look up with a positive attitude and positive smile to the community and to what we are going to do next.
And what about you? I feel like you want to add something to that.
And if I don't have the will to do something, nothing and no one can do it for me. The will, it's a must.
Interesting you talk about will. Following this explosion, would that deter you from going to vote for the constitution? How does such a bombing, regardless of who is responsible, how does that make you feel as Egyptians? And especially because you're part of a group that is moving towards change, positive change.
We are trying to move to change all the negatives in our society by making the youth more open, more useful. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about preparing the students from the academic way of thinking, during the studying, and moving on to a practical life. How far do you, how do you see this with the students, for those who joined your group, for example? What difference can it make?
For the students who are joining the councils we make, as Amira said, they practice what they learn. By the end of the year, there is something called conference. They practice what they learned through the year by making open session or open day for making such a our councils, as Amira said, banking and creative business thinking, advertising, and project management. So we will simulate this to a real life. We'll make something like a project. They will manage a project, make a project idea of the project, and make portfolio for the project and everything. They will need marketing, so they will go to the advertising.
Do you need funds, by the way?
Of course, we need funds.
From where do you get the funds?
From sponsors that supports us with whether financial way or by products for their companies. That's how we get funds.
What do you mean sponsors? I mean, from where? Do you have some companies who are supporting you, for example,
sure,
individuals? What?
No, companies, not individuals. We have a committee called fundraising, which is responsible to go and get deals with the sponsors and make deals with them to support us, whether financially or by products. Like last year, we had Toshiba, we had Bank Faisal Al-Islami, we had...
Right, without mentioning the names, I'm just talking
like
about,
this. Okay, regarding it's...
So different companies are offering jobs, for example, as training for...
Sometimes training and sometimes not, yeah. Last year we had for the Banking Council, we had for the top 5 trainees, for the top 5 delegates, a training in Bank Faisal. He is it's our main sponsor through the last year and this year also. He's our main sponsor. That's why I'm just mentioning the name, not for marketing for them, but they are our main sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Have any other people tried to sort of intercept the group, politicize the group? Are you affiliated with any sort of politics, or are you trying to keep it a strictly social issue that aims for wholesome change?
Yeah, of course, we are trying to keep it that way. No political talking, no religion talking, no sports talking, not at all.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you're just focusing on the practical life, about working and the banking, just as you mentioned. But usually, do you put, for example, plans for the year or certain things? For example, let me ask you on the conclusion about your plans for the year 2014.
2014, we have made the plans for the events, the main events that we are going to make, events that will support our community, like supporting Hospital of 57, 357.
57, yes. You don't know the name of something that you're going to work for?
No, I'm just know the name in
We're
Arabic
joking.
as it's
Yes,
well.
I'm
It's the
joking.
Munkamen, yeah.
Although there's
Yes.
no time for joking
Even though
because
for
of
what is going on.
Unfortunately, we do have to end the segment right here because we're going to be continuing with updates with regards to the bus blast. Hopefully, not many casualties, although.
Yes, definitely, because as we mentioned, public bus, so no one can expect what might happen. But definitely right now we're going to bring you more details about this another terrorist attack that we have here in Egypt. So at the end, Mr. Osama Muhammad and Amira Abdel Hamid, thank you very much for joining us. And with this, we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us, but stay tuned for more coming up on Nile TV International and more updates upon all what is happening right now in